Hi, my name is Lindsay Swift, and for my biography project, I chose Coco Chanel. These are pictures from Coco Chanel's early life. Her given name is Gabrielle Chanel, and she was born on August 19th, 1883, in France. She did not have a great childhood and grew up with poverty surrounding her. Her mother was a laundry woman, and her father was a rambling street vendor who peddled work clothes for a living. When she was 12, her mother passed away from tuberculosis. Chanel's father put her and her two sisters in a convent run orphanage called Aubazine. Although Chanel did not have a pleasant stay here, it did do her a little good in the future because she did a lot of sewing in the 6 years she stayed there, which earned her a job as a seamstress. After leaving the orphanage at age 18, she worked in a tailor shop during the day and eventually began singing at French bars and restaurants. Chanel used these gigs to make extra money and flirt with the military personnel that were stationed in Moulins, France. It is said the reason she got her nickname of Coco is because there were two songs she sang that had that in the title, and the crowd would call for encores by shouting Coco, Coco. Of course, Chanel would prefer telling people that her father would call her Coco because it was a term of endearment for a child. In these pictures, we see the men who had an influence on Chanel's life. She used her beauty as a way to push her career in fashion forward. These three men were Etienne Balsan, Arthur Capel, and Ernest Beau. Etienne Balsan, who you can see on the left, offered to help her start a millinery business in 1910, which helped to jumpstart her career in fashion. He was a wealthy heir to a textile empire, whom she met when he was a young officer in Moulins. Balsan invited Coco to live with him as his mistress, and she readily accepted. At the bottom, you can see Arthur Edward Capel, who is known as Boy Capel, and he was the love of Chanel's life. They were introduced through Balsan, and their affair began in 1909. Capel financed Chanel's first shops, and his own clothing, specifically his blazers, inspired her creation of the Chanel look. The relationship lasted 9 years, and even after Capel was married, their affair continued until he died in 1919 due to a car accident. On the right, you can see Chanel and Ernest Beau, and although they were never together romantically, he was another man who helped push her career further. Together, they created Chanel's famous perfume, the Chanel No. 5, and Beau created a scent bouquet that reminds one of clean laundry and is the scent everyone knows and loves today. In these pictures, we see Coco's very first store on Paris Rue Cambon in 1910. Chanel started out by selling hats, but later she added two more stores where she began making clothes. Chanel is known for a couple main items that were extremely influential to fashion during this time and even still today. Most known is the little black dress, which you can see on the left. This piece revolutionized fashion with a practical yet elegant dress, without having to wear the tight corsets and constricted clothes. Chanel received an exclusive fabric called jersey that gave softness on the body and the ability to free the woman's physical form. This dress was perfect and was released in the Great Depression era, where simple and affordable was key. The simple black dress remained the outfit of choice because you could be elegant without breaking the bank. So basically, Chanel provided women with affordable fashion. In the middle, you can see the Chanel No. 5 perfume, which was one of the company's biggest hits. The fragrance is one of the best-selling perfumes ever sold and is loved throughout the world. Reportedly, Chanel liked Beau's fifth sample, which led to the now famous name, but also 5 was Chanel's lucky number. The scent, with notes of jasmine, rose, sandalwood, and vanilla, could have been the result of a laboratory mistake, but it is still loved today, even with that. On the upper right, you can see what Chanel introduced in 1925, which was her legendary Chanel suit with collarless jacket and a well-fitted skirt. Her designs were revolutionary for the time because they borrowed elements of menswear and emphasized comfort over the constraints of then popular fashions. One of the most notable admirers of the suit was First Lady Jackie Kennedy, who historically wore a pink Chanel suit on the day her husband, President JFK, was assassinated. On the bottom right, you can see the Chanel bag 2.55, which was introduced in 1955. This was the first time that it was acceptable for women of considerable status to carry a handbag on their shoulders. This bag is the most known copied bag in the world, and still today you see people all over having this bag. It is also said that Coco Chanel was an alleged Nazi agent. After her death in 1971, classified documents started to emerge that revealed the full extent of Chanel's dealings with the Nazis during World War II. Her decade-long affair with Hans Gunther von Dinklage, a German intelligence officer, was well known, but in a book released called The Sleeping with the Enemy, it was revealed that Chanel was involved enough with the Nazis' agenda that she was referred to as Abwehr Agent F7124. Chanel and her company contested the claims in Von's book. Although during World War II, Chanel leveraged her Nazi connections and tried to use Aryan laws to push Pierre Wertheimer and his brother, who were Jewish, out of her business. This did not work, and they still own the Chanel brand to this day. Chanel died on January 10th, 1971 at her apartment in the Hotel Ritz. But Coco Chanel achieved so many amazing things in her life. In September 1957, she would be the first individual to receive a gold version of the coveted Neiman Marcus Award for distinguished service in the field of fashion. She was also the first fashion designer to ever be on Time's list of 100 most influential people of the 20th century. She was also inducted into the 2012 Fifi Hall of Fame, and the Fifis are basically the Oscars for perfume, so this was an extremely high honor. Coco Chanel has accomplished so much in her life, but even through her death, her business and company is thriving with a $4.5 billion net worth. In conclusion, Gabrielle Chanel had the ultimate rags to riches story. Her mother's death and placement into an orphanage were the early workings of what shaped her to become huge in the fashion industry. Coco Chanel used her good looks as a way to attract men that helped her further her career. Chanel is known for a couple main items, and they were extremely influential to fashion during this time. Chanel had many achievements and will forever be iconic to the fashion industry. And here are my sources. Thank you.